Welcome to Your Cyber Path, the podcast that helps you get your dream cybersecurity job by sharing the secrets of experienced hiring managers and top cybersecurity professionals with you. Now, on to the show.
All right, let's go ahead and continue our cybersecurity journey by considering how to create impactful resumes. Now, this clip is actually an oldie but a goodie, and it comes from the days before I actually joined your podcast, Kip. And this is back when I looked in the way back machine. I saw that back in episode 45, you had a special guest on whose name is Glenn Sorensen, and he is an experienced hiring manager as well, and so are you. And the full interview is at yourcyberpath.com/45. But in your interview with him, you both took a real resume and then you made suggestions on how it could be improved. And in this episode, which you guys aptly called the live resume review, you and Glenn shed light on the key elements of a killer resume. So if you're having problems with resumes, this is a great episode for you to check out, yourcyberpath.com/45. Now, in the clip you're going to hear, we are going to hear how they highlight the significance of conveying enthusiasm and passion for the field of cybersecurity, along with your ability to be able to tie together various roles and experiences that the people are going to be interested in. And now Glenn here is going to emphasize the importance of showcasing your technical skills and continuous learning through things like certifications and personal projects as well. And with that introduction in mind, let's go ahead and listen to the clip, and then we'll come back and talk about it.
I'd like to start just by, before we show these real resumes that have been anonymized, I would like to ask you first, Glenn, when you're screening resumes, what are you looking for? What is a killer resume when you're going through the stack and you come across one? What are some of the things that cause it to stick out for you?
The first thing on my list is that enthusiasm and passion shine through. I want somebody that is the self-starter sort, but is really just coming from a place of, I'm really passionate about cybersecurity or about whatever specialization within cybersecurity that they're interested in and after. That's the biggest thing on my list. Some of the other things I look for are that there's kind of a higher level, big picture view, that the person can tie things together from various roles they may have had before, even if they're not in cybersecurity. I like the synthesis job roles of information and bringing kind of a holistic person to bear on a job or on a job role. I also want to look for technical skills if I'm hiring in a technical role, or that the language presents itself that you might speak in a GRC role, for example. You've got to know that this person is capable of doing the job and someone that you can work with. So those are the things that I look for typically.
Great. When you were first talking about you're looking for passion, what's an example of a way that somebody can demonstrate that they have passion for the job that they're applying for on the resume? Like, can you give me a couple of examples of what you would, what kinds of things on a resume actually says, hey, I'm a passionate candidate? How do you do that on a resume?
I like energetic language. I like to see that a person has taken some time to craft a resume and, the attention to detail that goes into it. It's kind of only one piece of it. The other things I like to see are, have you gone and pursued education, certifications, home labs? Have you done things without somebody making you do it as part of your job? That to me demonstrates that there's enough interest and passion that it doesn't take some external force to get you to go.
Jason, that was a great clip. Now, after listening to that one again, what really stood out to you is, from what you heard?
Yeah, there's a couple of things that he brought up that I think are really important and that people struggle with. And so, one of them is synthesizing the role and your own previous experience. And this is something that you and I have talked about, and we use the term transferable skills a lot, right? Or the two-step. And that's where I find that people who are in a field that's not already in cybersecurity and they're trying to get into cybersecurity, they sometimes struggle because they look at something and go, oh, I don't have the experience for that. I can't get that role. And it's like, well, maybe, but you may already have experience or something that is similar or close that can get you in the door with the company in some position. And then based on you being there over time, you're going to be able to move into the actual position you want. For instance, we had somebody in one of our previous courses that we had that was a marketing background person, and she was trying to get into the job of being a pen tester. But unfortunately, she didn't have enough experience to be a pen tester, but she had a really strong marketing background. And ultimately, she ended up finding a job with a pen testing firm by doing client engagements and doing training and things like that, which used her marketing skills. And then over the years she was there, she's gained skill in the technical side to move into the pen testing and the analyst roles and things like that as well. So I think that's an important one, is synthesizing your previous experience and figuring out, what do I do that's important that can be carried over into the cyber world? For example, I know a lot of people who got into the cyber world that come from a bookkeeping or accounting background, which has nothing to do with cybersecurity, but it's really good when you go and become an IT auditor because you're used to checklists and accounting and processes and procedures and counting all these things up and all that stuff. And so those type of transferable skills I think are really important. And it's one of the things you want to highlight on your resume, because I think the other thing that people think is that your resume has to be 100% fit for the job post that you're applying for. And that's not true. If you're 50%, 60% of the way there, you're close enough. And you may get a shot at getting the interview, and then it becomes yours to lose. So that was one of the big things I saw.